Situation when you think about it, with His Majesty and of course his youngest son Prince Harry, regarding the forthcoming festivities, as it were. We've told you before here on the show that quite frankly nobody really wishes to see the return of Meghan or Harry. It's kind of the party poopers that bring a bit of a cloud to the situation. As you can imagine, it's a difficult time. Time is about, family, and when you have a big family like the British monarchy, of course you get an allotted time to meet and spend a little bit of time with His Majesty the King. This was, of course, an idea that our late and wonderful monarch, Queen Elizabeth II, set up many years ago, and it was a tradition followed on, actually, from Queen Victoria. In fact, when you look at our history, Queen Victoria and Prince Albert set up a lot of Christmas traditions that we know today in our very much Christian country. But what's interesting here is, as you know, there was a back and forth, and we told you the true story about how, Harry and Meghan would be open to an invitation back here in the United Kingdom to spend Christmas, or part of Christmas at least, at Sandringham. They were kind of bitter because they don't have now a very much UK base, after at the start of this year, His Majesty the King served notice on Frogmore Cottage, simply because they had no idea when they were going to return, or indeed could forward any plans as to as and when and period of time, that sort of thing, Now, we've only to assume exactly why His Majesty the King decided to do this. But of course, this set off quite a bit of a, shall we say, light bulb moment in the light of the Montecito duo. But now, according to a very good source, the problem is simply this, you see. Harry and Meghan do believe that, well, she has no interest whatsoever in returning back here to the United Kingdom. But of course, in the world of Harry and Meghan, it's all about branding. It's all about being seen and, more importantly, dominating the front pages. We can only assume exactly how annoyed Meghan Markle would have been, whatever people say, given the fact that Our Lady in Red, the Princess of Wales, dominated the front pages in that rather, shall we say, racy little red number, stepping out of the car to meet the President of Korea. Not exactly a moment that she had planned, but of course just literally was, as I said, a Marilyn Monroe moment. Now, according to Harry and Meghan's latest team, Wheeze, they believe, well, why not turn up at Christmas anyway, independently, stay somewhere private? You don't necessarily have to be visiting the family, and of course you would get worldwide headlines. And this is really the strategic tactic that, as we've seen so many times, time and time again, that Meghan does. On the day, of course, that His Majesty was addressing Parliament, she pops out going shopping in shorts. You get the picture. There's always something ill-timed, just leaked, just literally in time to steer away from whatever the British monarchy are doing. Now, let's be blunt. If Harry and Meghan turned up uninvited, unannounced and staying independently here in the United Kingdom, it certainly would create waves and a lot of headlines in a dead period in the tabloids. And this is something now that Prince Harry at least is contemplating. The bigger question is, of course, if he turns up alone, will he be allowed, or indeed will we ever get to see his two children back on British soil? It's fascinating to think that this is exactly, allegedly, how the Montecito operation truly does operate. But they are micro-celebrities now, and this is exactly how you gain attention and, more importantly, control the perhaps, and I say again, allegedly, selling of tabloid pictures. It's big business and a lot of money, but more importantly, Christmas is not necessarily a time of festive cheer, particularly when you're trying to salvage a very much dwindling brand. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.